Hello folks, welcome to another video. And I guess while I'm in the mood, I have the time to do videos. I have the time to go outside and smoke. I'll take my liberty. Okay, and of course, got Mr. Brown canned iced coffee made in Taiwan. Yeah, and speaking of made in Taiwan, I'm seeing more and more, lots, even at Walmart, lots of made in the USA. And that's thanks to Trump. Yes, and yeah, and if he gets reelected, one of the bills that he will pass is that any company that does business in China, not business with China, but if you do business in China, like if your products are marked made in China, it's you won't get any no tax break, no federal grants, any kind of federal aid. Well, so today I'll be smoking Gurkha Gurkha Centenarian, and it is a I guess I mentioned this before. Yeah, this is V-cut. Yeah, you are able to V-cut these torpedo type cigars, and it has a very small foot opening. I ate a lot of had a big dinner, and yeah, this is the atypical cigars that you think of. Cigars that if you watch the old-timey cartoon, that either the good guy or the cartoon character smokes a cigar, it will be this shaped cigar. Not bad. Now this is a light cigar, very smooth draw actually. Now from the very small foot on there is actually pretty smooth draw. And again, Gurkha is, like I say, Gurkha has, I believe, something like 20 plus lines, of their cigar. So, they'll have their stronger Maduros, and a lot of the cigars are on the Connecticut leaf, the lighter end of the cigar. Yes, it has been raining the last few days. Temperatures have dropped because of the rain. It's like in the 80s during the day. It'll drop into the, I don't know, let's see, 70s. I don't. 69, so it's about 70. So this is a very enjoyable weather. I'm not out here going, "Oh man, I'm sweating." I mean, just hurry to smoke this cigar, go back inside the house. Yeah, if you see the the bad guy in the cartoon smoking cigar, it'll be one of these shaped cigars. And they'll have it, and also on Three Stooges, if you see them smoke cigars, if you buy gag cigars, the ones that supposedly blows up or makes a pop, it'll be this shape. If you watch Three Stooges, and either one of them is lighting up a cigar, or one of the characters lighting up a cigar, it will be this shape. Yes, and my my orders of shaving soaps did come in finally. That's okay. I have plenty of shaving soaps. It wasn't like I was out of shaving soaps and cream, I was like, man, I can't shave until the water comes in, doggone it, kind of thing. So I'll probably do a shaving video. And like I say, I have some declaration grooming coming in. And yes, they use bison tallow. And so of course the Democrats have moved away from the Trump calling servicemen and vets losers to back again to Trump lied about the coronavirus. He lied about the coronavirus. Well, he didn't lie. Trump went by back in January, when he did a travel ban to Wuhan. And of course, the Democrats were calling it xenophobic. And of course, back in January, the World Health Organization was saying, hey, we don't think coronavirus is contagious. We don't think it transmits between humans. And of course, Trump and his team, they went by what WHO said. Well, because these are supposedly the World Health Organization. These are supposedly the guys who their job is to study infectious disease and stuff like that, and give opinions to the world government, anyways. So that's what Trump went by, and of course Kamala Harris came out saying that she won't take the coronavirus vaccine because she don't want to take Trump's coronavirus vaccine. She doesn't trust Trump. So just in case Biden and Harris does win, and they come up with the Democrats' version of a coronavirus vaccine, and it's forcing everybody to take it, then right, people are like, hey, I'm downloading this clip, and I'm going to throw it in her face. It's like, well, I don't trust Biden. I don't want to take Biden's coronavirus vaccine because I don't trust Biden. But of course, it's going to be shoved down your throat. Of course, I would prefer that we are given an option. Hey, you can take the vaccine, or you can take the I forgot what the word was. So basically right now, if you are really afraid of getting infected, just take your vitamin D and take your vitamin C. Of course, vitamin D helps absorb vitamin C, but being that we are still in summer, we still have a lot of sunshine. You can take vitamin C. Just go outside and walk around. That's assuming you're not in California and that you're locked down. So I'd rather be given the option to either take the vaccine or do the holistic, hey, I'd rather just take vitamin C and vitamin D. That's basically what the, Dayquil, NyQuil, Mucinex, all that stuff, that's basically what when you take those pills, that's basically what you're doing is taking a vitamin C, vitamin D infusion. Yeah, I need to put a spit cup here or something. Yeah. I hose down the porch later. Scrub it down with a brush. I guess a drink. Yeah, so right now in California, of course, they got the Antifa grunts up in Oregon and Washington State starting forest fires. So the feds arrested their leaders, so the grunts decide to step it up and start forest fires. So they're done. So it's pretty much there's nothing left in downtown or in the city to burn. It's 100 days of looting, rioting, and burning. There's nothing left to burn but the forest. So that's what they're out burning. Yes, and the Oregon So basically, down in California, Northern California, and we're talking San Francisco and such, where the fire is at. So you got the California forest fire, and I guess the wind is blowing from the north. So you got the Oregon forest fire. So you got, that fire and all that smoke blowing down into California. Nancy Pelosi needs to go back to San Francisco so she can enjoy, climate change along with all of the people that voted for socialism. It's like some 30, 40 years ago is when all of this started, when the California government decided not to do any forestry work. It's like, let's leave the forest to grow naturally. We're not going to thin out the woods. We're not going to clear out the undergrowth. We're not going to do control burns. Just let it grow naturally. And it took about 30 to 40 years for Mother Nature to catch up. Because here in Texas, out in East Texas, we have our coniferous forests out there too. But Texas, unlike California, our forestry department actually are allowed to do their work, so that when there is a forest fire, when a camper, or lightning strike catches the forest on fire, it's our firefighters, or I don't think we have smoke jumpers here. I think we do. But basically, they're able to contain the fire, and it doesn't rage, and burn, 10 million acres. This is a nice cigar. So, go ahead and take that band off. There we go. Yeah, so in California, it's been about 30 to 40 years since they decided to stop any forestry maintenance on their forest. Of course, Bigfoot's like, hey man, Bigfoot likes it. But of course, when lightning strikes, a human being, accidentally catches the forest on fire, or one of the old telephone pole from the 1920 falls over and catches the forest on fire, then it just rages out of control. Because the last 10 years, is the most intense, with this year being the worst. But every other year, California would have these forest fires that would burn out of control. I remember, I think it was 2013. Went to visit. This is the last time I went to visit San Francisco and the relatives. And I remember the flight I took landed in LA before I flew to San Francisco. Yeah, I know, connecting flights are cheaper. And I remember the plane landing and the pilot saying, if you look out your window to the left, he said, that's not clouds on the ground, that's fire burning up in the hills. I looked over there. Yes, the hillside. The hillside. Yeah, I think that was 2012, 2013. So when they had the LA fire. But yeah, literally the hills next to LA was on fire. I looked down and said, holy shit, man. The entire, it looked like a good 4 or 5 mile stretch. And the hillside was just this white plume of smoke coming up. And of course we're up, planes about to land, so we're up around, 15, 20,000 feet. You look, you get a bird's eye view, and it gives you the destruction that's happening. Yeah, once the plane landed, you can still see the smoke pluming up in the sky, but I guess it wasn't close enough to LAX to where we couldn't land. And of course I waited, I think it was a couple of hours layover, then took off, flew to San Francisco. Yes, back then it wasn't as bad. You know, 8 years ago, 7 years ago, it wasn't as bad as it is now. Yes, they had homeless there, but while we were there, me and my wife, while we were there, we didn't have any beggars come up begging us for money. Of course, there's a lot of tourists. Now, checked out Chinatown, and yeah, it's China. I don't know. Chinatown was a letdown. Okay, it stunk. It was dirty. We walked around downtown even at night, around 10, 11 o'clock at night. Yeah, maybe now a little foolish to do that because you might get stabbed by a homeless or something. But back then it was a little bit safer. Now I did have my head on a swivel, like, man, if some homeless jumps out and attacks us. Went to Fisherman's Wharf. Went to go see the seals. It stinks. Went to that candy store that's close to where the seals are allowed to sunbathe. I think I spent like $50 on candies. It wasn't anything special. I mean, it was candy that you could get. Now, I specifically tried to look for candies that were, that you really couldn't get in stores. And of course, it was overpriced. That's why I came up to $50. I was like, man, $50. All right, here's the money. And I ended up throwing like something like half of the candy away. Packing our luggage, like, I'm not eating these, man. Throw it in the trash. Yeah, this is when, of course, we had bed bugs. The hotel that we stayed in, we took bed bugs back to our apartment. Luckily, we lived in an apartment back then, didn't infest the house with bed bugs. And yeah, I went out and bought bed bug spray. Bed bug powder. It's basically diatomaceous earth. And yeah, I was able to get rid of it because the other alternative is to throw all of your clothes out, throw your bed out, move apartment. Now, yeah, we eventually, of course, moved out of that apartment, but and yeah, and of course, I've since gotten rid of that bed. But yes, some cases where people get bed bugs, mainly from hotels. That's the thing too. Some people carry, I think it's like, I think it's dark light. I forgot what it's called. What is that? Black light. Is that racist for calling it black light? So basically, people will carry black lights. Of course, the black light will also show up, any bodily fluid stains on the sheets. But you can use that to supposedly the bed bugs will show up. But yeah, but it took me a couple of months, but finally got rid of the bed bugs. And so, like I said, some people, their bed bug infestation, if you don't take care of it, as soon as you notice, like, okay, I'm getting all these bites on my body. And I know we didn't have, bugs in the house before we left, for San Francisco. Yeah, so basically, right away, I went and bought all, like I said, bed bug spray, the bed bug powder. Don't wait. Don't wait till it gets really, really bad, to the point that medications, bed bug sprays, and diatomaceous earth. Yeah, I was reading online. Some people, they were so bad that they had to throw all their clothing out. throw out their bed. In some cases, they would call in the pest control man, who I think the way they do is that they put heaters in your house. But I guess if it's summertime, you can just shut off your AC, open up all your windows, and let your house heat up. But basically, they seal up the house, and then they heat up the house to something like 100 something degrees. Well, not so hot that it would catch the house on fire. But supposedly heat kills bedbug. Hey dog. And as hot as it is here in Texas, but of course inside the house it's nice and cool during the summertime. But yeah, but supposedly heat kills bedbug, and that is one of the treatment. So if you call a pest controller and it's like, hey, I got bed bugs all over the house, they'll come in, seal up the house, put heaters in the house, and heat the house up to like 100+ degrees. I guess bake the bed bugs. And of course the recommendation is to throw all your clothes out, throw out your bedding. If it gets onto your couch, you gotta throw your couch out. Get a lawyer and get a lawyer and sue that hotel. Yeah, so California, enjoy your little taste of hell. Yes, if you go online or YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and type in, California fire. A lot of people uploaded videos. It's like, hey, this is 1 in the afternoon. Look at the sky; it's like all red, or it's a yellow haze. The sun's literally being blocked out because there's so much smoke in the air. And yes, folks there are saying that smoke is getting in their house. So enjoy your socialism and your smoke inhalation. Call Nancy Pelosi to go back there. Call Kamala Harris to go back to San Francisco so they can enjoy the smoke inhalation with you. And no, it is not climate change that's causing it. It's all the eco warriors. You can thank yourself, thank your eco warrior neighbors for not allowing the forest department to do forestry maintenance. And this is what you got. Yeah, it didn't take a year or two. It didn't take a decade. It took 3 or 4 decades for the for them being eco warriors. Let Mother Nature do her thing. Yeah, Mother Nature did do her thing. She all the trees grew, all of the shrubs grew. Each year that the thistles from the pine trees would fall down and build up to they're saying in some area is like 3 feet thick, or it's 3 feet thick, but it's meshed down. It feels like anyways. So yeah, so when you get the fire, it's going to burn out of control. So what do you want, dog? Hey, you, what are you doing? What's wrong, dog? Okay. Yeah, like I said, these dogs are 17-year-old. They're half deaf, half blind. It's just like humans, When dogs get old, they go deaf, they go blind, just like humans. Because I had a co-worker who had to put down their 17-year-old dog because the dog just went blind. And they had 2 dogs. I said, oh yeah, we had a second dog. Couldn't it follow the other dog around? They're like, no, he's old. He went blind. And he said that was it. We just had to put him down because Now, luckily, these dogs can still see. The vet was saying, well, since they're 17 and they can still see, uh, they probably got like a good year or two before one of them does go blind, if they're still around by then. All right, let me take this off. So today is the 9/11. Guess I'll close it on that. Yeah, this is a nice cigar. Probably another 2 inches in before I start to feel the effect. Normally with Maduro's a strong cigar by about halfway in, or about now, is when I start to feel the effect. What is that dog doing? Anyways, so of course you got the government conspiracies. No, the Jews did it. It's the Jews. Okay, you got those guys. No, man, it's our government. Our government did it. Someone got a $7 billion payout for $7 billion insurance payout for the World Trade Center. I was like, wow. Now that part I was kind of surprised. Like, okay, so insurance actually paid up. Because you can imagine being the insurance, the claim coming in, and being the insurance adjuster's like, hey boss, do we pay these guys? I mean, what would it fall under? Would it fall under, the owners of the World Trade Center? I don't know who they are. So some people say they're Jewish, which I would believe. Did they take out like a terrorist attack insurance, a year or two before the incident? Now, would it be covered under fire? It's definitely not natural disaster, because I know a lot of home insurance covers natural disaster, like forest fire. Well, actually, forest fire, huh? I know in California you have to specifically buy forest fire insurance, but let's say a mouse chews through a wire in your attic, catches the house on fire. That would be covered. I guess some drunk crashes their car into your house. The car catches your house on fire. That would technically be covered. So I guess that I guess someone flying a plane into your building, catching the building on fire and collapsing, I guess that would be covered under fire then, I guess. Fire that's beyond your control. But yeah, $7 billion, there you go. Nice little cherry at the end there. And then you got I don't know who to believe. And then you got what the government says is, hey, it's Islamist terrorist, Osama bin Laden. He's the bad guy. Let's go get him. Yeah, one thing Trump should undo is the Patriot Act. It's 18 years since the attack. It's been 18 years. And of course, I know someone probably said, well, it's been 18 years and no attack. It's because of the Patriot Act. Well, the Patriot Act allows the FBI to wiretap people, and do things to Americans. They're not going overseas and wiretapping. No, we're not talking about them going overseas and wiretapping ISIS, or wiretapping what's those guys? Any of those terrorist groups, that's overseas. They're wiretapping us. Dog, that's cigar ash. And yes, and supposedly the FBI or Border Patrol. Uh, no, I guess if you read these news that doesn't make it to the MSN, that they stopped a lot of weapon seizures and stuff like that at the border. Bomb making materials and stuff like that. But either way, it's 9/11. Of course, people are out in the memorial, and may those folks who perished rest in peace. I thought it was 6,000. It's like it's 3,000 people. I guess that's including the firemen and the policemen who gave up their life. Yeah, I'm going to have to spray and scrub this down tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. And no, it was not CGI'd. There wasn't some demolition inside the World Trade Center and then they CGI'd airplanes, with projectors. Some people say, well, they were using projectors to project the planes into the sky. I'm like, okay, man, you're really pushing it. I would believe, first, the government conspiracy about our government doing it. Doing it to us, to enter war, it's like a false flag to enter a war. Yeah, I would believe that first before I believe they were, using projectors to project images of planes into the sky. And of course, we need to revamp the TSA. It's almost like going to the airport. You just want to wear a sandal. I got a sandal on, man. I still gotta take that off. Oh, okay. Because it's because of the shoe bomber. It's the reason we gotta take our shoes off and have it scanned in the scanner. And then and I've had the full body scan, and it scans you down to your underwear supposedly, but I don't know. Yeah, and it's supposedly they choose random men. Yeah, and it is mostly men that get scanned. And there was I guess some TSA worker that got arrested because he was choosing nothing but women to go in there and scan. I guess he was getting off on seeing the irradiated, I guess the irradiated images of these women. Yeah, because basically what it is, it's an X-ray that if you're carrying any knife, basically any metal or dense object that's in your pocket or on your person, will show up on the scan. And since the thing is, if you fly a lot and if you get chosen a lot, yeah, you're getting X-rayed a lot. Because basically that's what that machine is basically an X-ray machine. And I don't know how many rands of radiation you're getting, and and of course we're being told by the government that it's very small amounts. If you fly once a year or fly every now and then, you're probably okay. But if you're a business flyer, you're flying all the time and you're getting chose all the time, you might want to, I guess if you get that TSA pre boarding pass, they don't X-ray you. And I know some folks who do fly a lot, and they got that TSA pass. They're like, man, it's worth the $80 or $88 that they charge. Talk to buddies like, yeah, man, it's worth every penny because the line is shorter. Yeah, they still X-ray your stuff, but you get through a lot quicker. You see, I was going. Oh yes, I forgot. Yeah, the football. So last weekend, I happened to I was at a I was at a restaurant, and the restaurant was showing some college football. So I was checking it out, and yeah, they were playing in empty stadiums. Funniest part was that the coaches and the refs all had masks on. Of course, the players had the helmets, so they, I kind of felt sorry for the refs because yeah, the referees are having to run up and down the field, and you basically have this mask on. So it's like having an altitude mask on while you're exercising. You're having to breathe harder, and of course, if you're a younger ref, you're okay. But man, mark my word, if they continue this, some of the older refs, um, you know, um, I would say during the beginning of the season, because it's warm, you would probably be okay when it gets into winter. But during the beginning of football season, don't be surprised if some of these older refs collapse on the field from exhaustion. It's like, hey, I can't breathe. Yeah, get a mask. Just stick on a mask and go out and jog. And of course, the mask they're wearing is the cloth. Is the cloth mask, which restricts your breathing a lot more than the surgical mask. So yeah, let's see, because some of the younger refs, they'll be okay. It's the older ref who are going to struggle, and and don't be surprised if one or two of them collapse on the field. It was coronavirus. Coronavirus took down referee Joe. And I thought it was funny. Hey, you guys are outside, man. Take the damn mask off. But yes, the coaches, the assistant coaches, the refs, they're playing in an empty stadium. And it was weird watching. It's like, man, there's nobody in the stadium. I don't think they have the band there because I guess I guess if you're going to play football there in front of nobody, I guess you might as well have the band play in front of nobody. That way they practice their formation and practice playing. I don't know. But the game that was on, there was a few games that was on the few TV screens that they had. And yeah, it was completely empty. There was no bands. It was just the guys playing in an empty stadium. And of course, yesterday they had the which I didn't even know. And if I knew, I wouldn't have watched it. Which is the game between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tennessee Titans. Of course, the Chiefs came out. They stood for the national anthem, and I guess one player kneeled and did the racist, Black Power salute. And of course, it wasn't the Texans. It wasn't the Titans. It was the Texans. It wasn't the Titans. Houston Texans. They stayed in the locker room. It wasn't until they played the national anthem and then the black national anthem that the Texans, that the Houston Texans came out. They went to the middle of the field to lock arms, and yeah, and there are videos on YouTube. And check them out before YouTube takes them down. And yes, you can clearly hear people booing. So they're locking arms at the middle, from the 50-yard line to not 50-yard line in the middle of the field, and people are booing. And of course, leftists came out. Oh, these people are booing unity. No, they're booing SJW BS tactics that's being used in a sport that they love. They did allow something like 15,000 people to attend, so probably season ticket holders or people who run one, I guess, raffle or something. I don't know. So hopefully, now the NFL has been losing money for a few years now for their wokeness. like I said, last year they pandered and tried to get fans back by doing their season-long salute to the troops. If you bother to watch, you notice that the coaches and refs had camo clothing all season long. And then this year they doubled down on their wokeness. you know, and of course there's college teams putting, instead of having the player's name on the back, they have enough is enough. I'm like, yeah, okay, hey, I agree with you. In theory, yes, enough is enough, but in practice, but in practice, you're not doing enough is enough. If you're pointing it at the wrong people, if you want to say enough is enough, then yes, the black on black killings is enough is enough. The white silence is violence. That alone is a stupid saying, because you got in the hood, which is snitches get stitches. That's basically black silence is violence. As a matter of fact, that is that is black silence is violence in practice right there. Snitches get stitches. Yeah, so at home, no, I'm not going to bother watching college football. Of course, if I'm at a restaurant or a sports bar and it happens to be on TV, I'll check it out. But I'm not going to bother watching college football or NFL. And they come towards the end of the season and they look at their pocketbooks. Of course, Roger Goodell's going to be, okay, well, look, for next season, we got to pander again. What pandering are we going to do? And of course, it's going to take more than one season. But in the case of the NFL, I don't think they're going to survive this season with their wokeness. Because number one, there's no people. The bulk, a lot of their money comes from the fans going to the games. And if you're going to play in empty stadiums or stadiums where only 10,000 people are allowed, you're going to go broke quick. And on top of being woke, so now you're depending on fans at home to subscribe to the NFL. Subscribe to the NFL channel, or you're depending on the fans at home to watch on TV. So you get some. I don't know if they get any money for that. You're expecting merchandise, fans to buy merchandise. So they're losing money on the fans going to the game. They're going to lose money on merchandise. None of my buddies has resubscribed to the NFL channel. And the only reason sports is playing is for gamblers. That's it. If it wasn't for Vegas, in my opinion, that they shouldn't be playing. It's like, hey, just go ahead and suspend the season. Question is, will the players get paid? Now, from what I've read, if they suspended the seasons, all the players would get paid like the league minimum, and I think in the NFL it's like 720,000. Which is way more than what the average middle class person is bringing home a year. Of course, if you sign a contract, you get your signing bonus. But I guess if you don't play, you don't get paid. So other than the 720,000, but I guess NFL season is going. And I'll make the prediction now, by the end of the season, they're going to be hurting. And come next season, they're going to pander. I don't know what kind of pandering. My ass is just... I don't know what kind of pandering they're going to do. Now NBA, I haven't watched. No, I haven't watched NBA probably in the last 3 years, especially since Dirk Nowitzki for the Mav has he of course he's older now. He should have retired about 3 years ago. That's when I stopped watching. Like, okay, Nowitzki, dude, you should have he retired this year, of course, but he should have retired like 3 years ago because he was really it showed his age showed you know and now they got this new kid Luca, who's also a white guy from Europe, who's I guess they're saying he's like the next great white hope, I guess. And yeah, it took Nowinski about 12 years to finally get his ring, with the Mavs. So he played like almost 17, 18 years before he retired. So that's a long time. That is a well, I guess in the corporate world, you're still going to be working, 17, 18 years. But I guess in the sports world, that's long enough. Yeah, so NBA I haven't really watched any for like 3 years, so it wasn't just I just have no interest in it. Jordan retired, finally retired back, and he keeps coming back. He finally retired back in 2000, was it, or 97, somewhere around there. Yeah, the guy's been retired for over 20 years. And the funny thing is that he's made more money retired than he's made as a player. Michael Jordan is worth something like $2 billion. And yeah, his son or his kids or his son technically don't need to play in the NBA, money wise, that is. But if he just wants to play in the NBA, yeah, he he could, like, hey man, I want to join this team. I'm taking the league minimum, or I don't know if there's any kind of a rule. But yeah, but his son, I think he's out of college now. I remember a few years ago they were talking about Jordan's Michael Jordan's son playing for some college. Yeah, it wasn't a big school, nor was it a big basketball school or a famous basketball school. This is a good cigar, man. I'm a little bit past halfway and not feeling it at all. It's probably another inch, I'll call it. Yeah, so that's and supposedly the Black National Anthem, they're only going to play it just for that opening game on Thursday, and they're not going to play it again for the rest of the season. And of course, seeing people booing, they're probably going to, well, knowing the NFL, they might double down and play it on every game, play the Black National Anthem on every game. And it wouldn't surprise me one bit. And of course, I guess we'll close on NASCAR. I stopped watching them years ago, way before the wokeness. Now of course NASCAR's been losing money for years before they became woke. Now of course they lost a lot of money, they lost a lot of fan. When they decided to ban the Confederate flag, and then I believe the camel that broke the straw that broke the camel's back would be that Bubba Wallace incident. So any fans that they had left pretty much said, okay, I'm done with NASCAR, man. This isn't my sport anymore. And no, SJWs aren't going to be watching NASCAR. They don't watch NASCAR from the beginning. Black folks aren't going to be watching NASCAR. No, they didn't watch it from the beginning. I mean, it's known as the redneck sport to begin with. I guess to watch mud bogging, Yes, if there are some, if they haven't been banned, there are a few channels on YouTube where it's called mud bogging. So basically, these guys, these white guys, you can call them rednecks. They own some land, and it's towards the end of summer, the pond is kind of drying up, and now there's like 3 feet of mud, and they'll make a little extra money, and they'll challenge people to bring your big 4x4, your quads out, and see if you can make it across the pond. And I think it's called mud bogging, or some guys will actually make like an entire mud course, and you can run your guys in their 4x4 will go out there and give it a try, and it's all in good sports. Yeah, I watched some of those, like, hey, that's interesting. I wouldn't do it. Not with my truck. I wouldn't make it 10 feet. But my truck sinks into the 3 foot of mud. Yeah, it's not lifted. It's just a regular pickup. All right, well, ended on that. Well, stay safe. You're not going to get sick. Unless you live in the West Coast, stay out of the West Coast, because not only do you have the rioters setting the forest on fire, so you got the lockdown, you got the fire, you got the smoke inhalation, you got rioters. It's basically a hellhole in the West Coast, and they're killing themselves with the smoke inhalation, because again, say check it out and look up the videos. Guys like, oh my God, it's midday and the sky's like all red. It's like, well, dude, you're in hell. All right, well, thanks for watching. Have a good one.